بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One of the greatest challenges that many of us face is that we take large parts of our lives and the blessings that God has given us for granted. We often find ourselves taking our wealth, our health, and our innumerable material and immaterial blessings for granted. We pray and we ask God, but many times we find ourselves falling short when it comes to expressing gratitude to God. I read a story about a young woman who one day saw in her dream that she met an angel. So she asked the angel to show her around and explain to her what the angels do all the time. So the angel took her to one of the facilities and he began to show her around. There was a long corridor with several doors. The angel took her to the first door, which had a sign on it that said, "Receiving." He opened the door and the woman looked inside and found hundreds of angels running around, processing people's petitions. They were very busy, working hard, processing people's prayers and their petitions and their supplications. The angel then took her down the corridor to the second room, which had a sign which read on it, "Packaging and Delivery." He opened the door for her. The woman looked inside and again saw a large room filled with angels scrambling in order to make sure that everyone was receiving. They were delivering everyone's petitions. They were answering everyone's call. It looked like the angels were working overtime. Then the angel took the woman to a third room, a third door, which had a sign that read "Acknowledgements." He opened the door, and this time the woman saw something strange. The room had only a few angels in it, and most of them looked like they weren't really doing anything at all. So she asked the angel to explain what was going on. The angel said, "We receive countless petitions, prayers, and supplications. And so the angels are always busy processing these petitions, these applications, these prayers and supplications. And they're also very busy packaging and delivering and answering these calls. But we only have a few angels who work in the acknowledgements department because we don't receive many acknowledgements at all." The Quran reminds us of this fact. God says, وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ, that it is only a few of God's servants that are truly grateful, that they express gratitude. It's very important for us never to take our lives for granted, never to take God's blessings for granted. God has given us so much more than what we deserve. You know, for most of us, most of the world's global population cannot imagine or dream of having the blessings that we have. We live in comfort. We live happy. We live good lives, comfortable lives. And oftentimes we find ourselves spoiled, expecting comfort. Sometimes we take our blessings for granted, and it's important that we don't take them for granted. The Quran gives us a sure and guaranteed way for God to continuously grant us more and more favors and blessings. God says, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you continue to express gratitude, I will give you more. It's one of the best ways to continue to receive God's favors and blessings upon us, that we express gratitude. So it's important for us to make it a habit every day, dear friends, to spend time thanking God for what God has given us, to go into sujood after our daily prayers, and to say, "My Lord, I thank you for your innumerable blessings and favors upon me. My Lord, continue to bless me with your favors and your gifts." But it's also important to go beyond verbal expressions of gratitude and to use the blessings that God has given us in a way that pleases God. If God has blessed you with wealth, to share this wealth with others. If God has blessed you with knowledge, to share this knowledge with others. To use this knowledge for good purposes. If God has given you any other skill, to use those skills in a manner that pleases God. This is also a form of gratitude. And thus, we are expected to constantly express gratitude, to be among those who never take life's blessings for granted. We ask God, the Almighty, to continue to shower us all with His blessings and favors, and to give us the capacity to express gratitude through word and deed. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.